صل على محمد اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة وصلاة القائمة محمد وصلاة فضلك وبارك. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد، رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the universe, and peace and blessing of Allah be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all those who follow his path. Today there are very, very serious issues which I have to address, and one of the serious issues is that early morning somebody has texted me a video from South Africa, and that video is about the people who are praying namaz in the Haram and Masjid al-Nabawi. Their prayers are not valid. This is a big fatwa, and the Sheikh has given that speech, and I will address it inshallah before the end of the khutbah. Inshallah, when I'll be explaining, please remind me if I went on with the other subject, and if I forgot, then please remind me. But Yusuf, you also have to remind me, because I have to touch that issue as well, and how this, what is the actual issue, whether the Sheikh has given the fatwa, is it right or wrong, or what should we be doing with this, inshallah. So generally, this is our last week of Ramadan, and it could be like another 3 days, or it could be another 4 days. We will be, inshallah, celebrating and fasting the month of Ramadan. The first issue is with regards to Jumatul Wid'ah, or Wada'a they call it, or some people they say Al-Jum'atul Yatimiyya, Orphan Jum'ah, which means people have got very serious concern about last Friday of the Ramadan, and they always celebrate, and they also pass on so many narrations ascribing to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So my brothers and sisters, first of all, as we already have discussed in our previous lectures and khutbahs, that we are not worshipping time and period. We are not worshipping locations. We are not worshipping places and people. We worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no difference whether it is the last Jummah of Ramadan, or it is last Jummah of Hajj, or last Jummah of Muharram. For Allah, Jummahs are same. With regards to Muslims, whatever the things that we have to do in any Jummah, that is same applied even in the last Jummah of Ramadan. Same applied in the first Jummah of Ramadan, same applied in the second Jummah of Ramadan, same applied in the third Jummah of Ramadan, and same applied in the last Jummah of Ramadan. So there is no specific narration, there is no specific hadith, there is no specific guidance from the Quran or the Sunnah that we have to signify, special act of worship, or signify the last Jummah of Ramadan in a unique way, or take it in a unique way and do something. Normally what we people, they say Jummatul Mubarakah, that's fine. That may Allah bless you with the blessed Jummah. That's fine, alhamdulillah, because that's a dua, you can make that dua. Also, if you want to make dua, if you want to make dua in the end of Jummah for the brothers and sisters, those who have completed the month of Ramadan and they are in the last week of Ramadan, you can make dua for them. Those who have passed away and they could not make this month, or they could not complete the month of Ramadan this year, you can make dua for them. And those people who have really, mashallah, repented and they came to the deen in this month, and they, mashallah, are devoted to the ibadah, you can make dua for them as well, to make them Allah, to make them, Allah to make them firm in their religion. That's all fine. But when I say, for an example, any one of you, pay attention to this question. If I say that so and so amongst you, your mother said this, and I come in public and say that, will you accept it? oh so and so, your mother said this. Nobody will say. They will say, Shaykh Sahib, come outside the mosque, I'll show you. You're talking about my mother in the public? This will be your last Jummah then. This is how we will react. But Rasul's position is much higher than mother, much higher than any man in the world. And Allah's position is much higher than Rasulullah. So when we people say that Allah said this in the Quran, that is the dua you have to make in the last day of Jummah or last Ramadan, Jummah of the Ramadan, that's lie upon Allah. We have to be very careful. Second thing, when you say, because Rasulullah has said, Man kadhiba alayya muta'ammidan falyatabawwa maq'adahu min an-nar. Hadith in Sahih Muslim. That anybody who ascribes anything lie upon me, he must take his position in the hellfire. We don't want to go to hellfire. But at the same time, we are not careful that we are passing on the ahadith, that this is the dua Rasulullah made for this sahabi, this is the dua that this sahabi made, and this is the last dua Ramadan that the people should be, looking after it and doing this and that. That is totally lie upon his Rasul as well. And anybody who lies upon Allah and lies upon Rasul knowingly, he becomes kafir. He becomes kafir. And if he is doing it, that it is okay, it's a dua, and he says that it is allowed to say upon Rasul Sallallahu anything which is, inauthentic or da'if narration, we can ascribe it, that's also a major sin. First of all, there is no weakness in our religion. You as Muslim, you should believe that the Quran that you are holding in your hand, it has got no doubt in it. If you think that there is something better than the Quran or something different than the Quran is there, then you challenge it, prove it. Just by word of mouth and just, doing this research and that research from this Google and that Google. If somebody has come up with the, 30 years research just to prove that Quran is changed or Quran is different, this version is that and that version is that, this guy even doesn't know his own religion. If you believe that person and then you rely yourself, then that's wrong. So you have to believe that the Quran is uncorrupted, its Quran is unaltered. And imagine the first proof of the Quran to be, Allah's book. You can see that there are thousands and thousands of things mentioned by Rasulullah about himself in the Quran, which a person, if he is writing or he is ascribing or he is becoming selfish, he would not mention those things. Like there are 5 occasions in the Quran where Rasulullah was warned by Allah that Muhammad, if you would do this, then this will be your consequences. Imagine, this is Allah who is saying. So how could you say a person can doubt the Quran that this is not the book of Allah, when Muhammad he's been warned by Allah. He has been told that you are the best of the nation, you are the best role model for the people, but if you do this, and the one very famous verse of the Quran where Rasulullah was told, specifically Allah has addressed him and he said, "Oh Muhammad, even if you commit shirk, your all good deeds will be destroyed." This is the warning to Allah, Prophet of Muhammad, a Prophet of Allah. And that's there in the Quran and it will be read till the Day of Judgment. If Rasulullah is the author, why would he write this book, this point against him? Another ayah of the Quran, Ya ayyuhan Nabi, again addressed direct to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya ayyuhan Nabi, lima tuharrimu ma ahallallahu laka tabtaghi mardata azwajik. O my Prophet, O Prophet of Allah, what are you doing? You are making halal things haram upon you just because you want to please your wives? Who would say this? Now all of us are reading. Who would say this, that this is something, subhanallah, author will say, criticize himself. Allah is telling, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, things which are made halal, you have to take it halal. Things which are made haram, you have to take it haram. You have no right to change halal to haram upon yourself just because you want to please your wife. تَبْتَغِي مَرْضَاتَ أَزْوَاجِكَ. You are making things which Allah made halal, you are making it haram just to please your wives. So this is a very clear proof. So those people who are talking about our Quran, They themselves, they don't know. Even they don't know their own parents originally without the DNA. So this is, alhamdulillah, we can say. Now second point, and very famous point, all those people who are academic, who are in education, who read books, who write books, and who go into like editing and literatures, they know that maximum any book that can be remain untouched or unedited, maximum it will take 10 years. After 10 years, even the writer of the book has no copyright over that the book. Anybody can change it. This is the law, script law. That suppose if I have written a book and it has passed 10 years, after 10 years I have no copyright over my book unless I renew it. Unless I officially renew it and say that this is my book and this is, no edition has been changed. So this is my book, and then again it will go on for another 10 years. But if nothing is mentioned, then every person has got the right to take my book and publish it or do it anything, after 10 years time. But Quran, subhanallah, written in Arabic, 1440 years and 9 months and 26 days. Specific, okay? 1440 years, 9 months, and today is 26th day. Imagine, Quran was never been edited like that. No first edition, no third edition, no 10th edition, no 14th edition, nothing. So this is the first thing you have to remember. If somebody comes and say that Allah has said in the Quran like this, it's a lie upon Allah, it's a lie upon Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So coming back to this main point, first thing, there is no issues mentioned in the Quran about what a Muslim should be specifically be doing on in the last month, the last Ramadan, for Friday of Ramadan. So nothing specific, nothing special. This Friday, last Friday of the Ramadan, is same as the first one, second one, and the third one. So there is nothing specific. What is important for all of us is, yes, this Ramadan and the last Friday, now only few days are left. As we know that it could be 3 days or 4 days. The Al-Kayyisu man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. Al-Kayyisu man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. This hadith is in Tirmidhi, where Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said the intelligent person is, he protects himself from every harmful things. He is very reserved. He goes for only benefits and he will always avoid the things will bring loss to him. That's the wise man. This is what Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying. وَعَمِلَ لِمَا بَعْدَ الْمَوْتِ, and he will do all his deeds that will only help him after the death. Why? Because Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said, إِذَا مَاتَ الْإِنسَانِ إِنْقَطَعَ عَمَلُهُ إِلَّا مِنْ ثَلَاثٍ, that if a person has died, everything that will bring him the good deeds, the source by which he can get the rewards, are all stopped after his death. إِلَّا مِنْ ثَلَاثٍ, except 3 things. صدقة جارية, علم ينتفع به الناس, and ولد صالح يدعو له. 3 things. If a man has spent in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the wealth that he has spent which has got ongoing benefits, so this person will get the reward of this sadaqah even after his death, because the reward is going on. It didn't stop. So this sadaqah is used for a cause where the benefits is going on. It won't stop. So this is sadaqah jariyah for this man. Ilmun yantafi'u bin nas, a knowledge that a man has taught the people, written the books, or done the beneficial things in the served the nation in literature, that people are benefiting from it after his death. That reward is continuous. And the third thing, pious children, boys and girls, that man or woman who has got the pious children, he taught them Islam, he gave them the Islamic education, make them proper Muslims. So any good contribution is done by them, automatically father and the mother will get the reward for that. And vice versa. If you make them Hollywood and Bollywood stars, you will get the same punishment because you were the one who, enlightened them to that. Another hadith of Rasulullah that every person has got 3 friends in this dunya. Pay attention to this. Every person has got 3 friends in this dunya. 2 remain in this and 1 goes with him in the grave. Hadith in Sahih Bukhari. The first friend is his relatives, wife, husband, wife, the children, friends, parents, all those kind of human relationships. They will remain in this dunya when a person is dying. They won't go with him in the grave. Oh, my beautiful gay partner. Oh, my beautiful lesbian partner. I can't miss them. Bury me with that. No, nothing like that. This love is only here in this dunya. Once everybody is gone, finish, everything remains. No beautiful wife will say, oh, my handsome husband is dying, let me die with him. No, handsome man will say, my beautiful wife died, let me be buried with her. Nobody will say, my beloved child is dying. No. So, human relations, these are like, companionship, friendship with him in this life. They remain in this life. A person goes alone. Second friend is his wealth, whatever, whether it's earning, spending, whatever it is, that remains in this dunya. Even if a person could be the king of the country or the queen of the country or the minister of the country or billionaires or trillionaires or whatever he is, his wealth will not go in the grave with him. This is his second partner. Third, his deeds. His or her deeds. That will go with him in the grave. So, al-kayyisu man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. The intelligent and the wise person is the one who is avoiding his time, he is not wasting his time, and he does everything that could bring benefit to him, and his actions are only with the concept, with the purpose that he wants to be benefited after his death. So this is the wise person. Based on this, now these 3 days or 4 days of our Ramadan, we have to calculate our things that we have done. How many mistakes have we made? How many wrong deeds we have done? How many, haram that we have done to others? Forget about you and Allah. Allah will forgive you, inshallah. But if you have done something wrong to me, definitely I won't forgive you. I'll catch your neck on the day of judgment. That's me, because I'm very mean about it. So you have to be worried that I should, do not do anything wrong to Abdul Majid. If he does to me, it doesn't matter. Allah will sort it out. But if I do to him, I will be in trouble. So this is how you have to work out. In these 3 days, in this Friday, you have to work out that what have you gained in these 26 days, or what have you lost in these 26 days. Did you make the best of this time, or did you just wasted your time? If you have wasted your time, then you have to work out. And subhanallah, you don't know, my brothers and sisters, your one deed, sincerely done for the sake of Allah, can take you to the Jannah. So work out and see what is there. Like a woman, Prophet gave the example. A woman, she was, by character, she was known as a prostitute in the story from the Bani Israel. Rasulullah is narrating. When he narrates the story from Bani Israel, it becomes hadith. Remember that. So he narrates this hadith. That's a woman who was, by character, she was a prostitute. But one day she was passing by the street and she saw that a dog is thirsty. And there is no, cup or glass or bottle by which she can, get some water to quench the thirst of this dog. She removed her shoe or whatever she was wearing. She went inside the well. How she went, it is not described, but she went and she brought water from that and she quenched the thirst of this dog. And Rasul ﷺ said that because of this, her good deed of, looking after the animals, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has overlooked all her sins of what the character that she had, and Allah has destined for her that she will go to Jannah. So one deed liked by Allah, sincerely done, gone to the paradise. Another practical example which is very related to our life today, especially the youth or the people who are gone, everything is gone, became grey, but still they are sexually very fit according to them. They enjoy having sexual relationship in a haram relationship, and they are so much proud of that. Whatever they did last night, next day they will narrate it. Oh, I enjoyed this. Oh, I did that, and this and that. Now, for these people, this is an example of good deeds. We have to work out all our deeds that we do, and we have to see that if we get one opportunity to do good, something sincerely, something good in our life for the sake of Allah, inshallah, that will lead us to the Jannah. This is what you will be thinking of in these remaining days. And the example is given by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A rich man, a very rich man, young, fully strong and fully, equipped with the sexual desires. Wealth is there, health is there, and he wanted to commit zina with his cousin sister. He wanted to commit zina with his cousin sister. And cousin sister was a poor woman. She had to look after her young brothers and sisters. Nobody was there. She was the only person to look after, and she was a modest and a chaste woman. She never had any relationship or affairs with any man. So that's the reason this man, with all his wealth, he wanted to have one night, he wanted to spend one night with this cousin sister of his. And he was waiting for the opportunity that when she will fall down and she will be completely weak, and when she will beg to me for her needs, then I will, demand this from her. And this was the time when she was in a situation where she came to her cousin brother and said to him, let's agree with something that you can, but help me with this. And they agreed with 60 dinar, that this man will spend night with this woman for 60 dinar. And the sister started shivering. They have agreed, deal is made. The sister started shivering, sweating. And the cousin sister is now suspicious about this reaction of the sister. He asked her, why? What happened? I didn't even touch you. Why are you reacting like this? She said that, subhanallah, I'm worried that there will be a day when I will be standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that how will I be able to face Allah in this situation after I die? Which she wants to say that till now I have not done anything haram. But if I, after having relationship with you which is haram, if I die, how will I be able to face Allah? So, this was her understanding, and immediately this man, when he heard her saying this, and she just said, Ittaqillah, fear Allah. Do not destroy my virginity and chastity and modesty, which Allah has protected it for me. When she said, fear Allah, this word fear Allah went into this head of this guy, and he realized, and he thought, subhanallah, I have got wealth, I have got power, I have got, every luxurious thing of my life, and I am not worried about the day I will be standing in front of Allah. And this woman has done nothing wrong, and yet she is so much concerned about her standing in front of Allah. Subhanallah, he gave her 60 dinar, didn't touch her, and said to her, please forgive me. And she left. The next day, people knocked at the door, because this was a system of this man, that always he used to come out and show off and do all those kind of things, so neighbors would know that this is the routine of this man. He would come out. But this morning he didn't come out. He didn't come out. So people went and knocked at his door, and they read at the headline on the top of the door that this man, Allah has accepted his repentance, and this man is declared to be the resident of Jannah. And when they opened the door, they found him dead. So this is what you have to think. This man, all his life he was doing bad things, proud of himself. but he let the girl go without touching for the sake of Allah, and the fear in his heart that what will be my position if I will stand in front of Allah. So that fear of Allah, that consciousness of Allah, that calculation of our deeds, this is what we have to have in these remaining days. You have to work out. There is no point for us to think, that what suit I'll be wearing. Okay, look, a practical example. People might be wearing this kind of suit on the Eid day. For me, every day is Eid, because I don't know whether I'll live for the next day or not. This is how I live. Every time, every moment of my life is Eid for me. Alhamdulillah, I don't want to die as a person thinking, I've got pendings. No. Even if I have to say bad things to somebody, I will say on his face. If I have to say good things, I will say on his face. I will never leave it for the next day. And that's why I don't have any will, because I don't have any savings. So I'm not worried about my next time. My time is here now. I don't know. So my brothers and sisters, I want you people to live like that. And this is what Rasulullah has said. كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب. كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر السبيل. وإذا أمسيت فلا تنتظر الصباح. وَإِذَا أَصْبَحْتَ فَلَا تَنْتَظِرِ الْمَسَاءَ. This is the hadith. Allahu Akbar. And I would like to tell you, my brothers, don't talk about the last days of Ramadan. Don't talk about the Friday. Don't talk. Think every next moment is something Allah has given to you. And this is what Rasulullah has said. كُن فِي الدُّنْيَا كَأَنَّكَ غَرِيب. Stay, live in this world as if you are a stranger. Stranger, many explanations are given. Stranger, don't be so famous where you must have like millions of followers on your Instagram or millions of followers on YouTube or Facebook. Don't wait for that. Don't be that famous. Be a stranger. Stranger means people, maybe few people would know you, not all of them. Aw abir sabil, and be like a traveler. Just have a caravan with you and travel here and there. Don't talk of one house on mortgage, the second house on mortgage, and this building and that saving and this saving. These are the beautiful words of Rasulullah. This is the reality. This is the reality. Rasulullah was the best man on the face of the earth. But when he died, he didn't even have one dinar left with him. When he died, he didn't even have, the new kafan that today we are saying, okay, I bought a new kafan and I'm going to send to the, my cousin in Mecca and he will wash it with the Zamzam water and bring it back to me. Come on, man, who knows you'll get this kafan here? You might be traveling in Mecca and your kafan is in Medina and you die. You won't get that. So don't think, this is the life, this is the reality, my brothers and sisters. Stay, live in this dunya as a stranger. And live in this dunya as a traveler. Don't think that this is your permanent destination. This is not our permanent destination. Our permanent destination is, the first one is temporary for 6 months, half yearly is the grave. And another half year you have to go and look for in the hereafter. So that's our destinations. This is our life. And this is how our Prophet, beloved Prophet lived. Subhanallah. If he could do like this and he can crack the whole moon, you can imagine how powerful he was. And Rasulullah could, just make dua and the whole world is started raining and the towns and the villages are flooding in water. And if he just make dua, everything is stopped. This is Rasulullah. And 2 mountains of gold and silver were offered to him. That if you want, we can make you king. If you want, we can make you this. If you want. And he said, no. I want Allah's companionship. I want Allah's companionship. So these 3 days, my brothers and sisters, or 4 days. And today's Friday. Think over it. Work out what is missing or what has missed now. And what you have to do. So do it in this 3 days, and inshallah, Allah will bless you with that. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. If it is Tuesday, if Tuesday is the Eid, then here we will pray at 9:30. Remember that. We will start allowing people to come for 9:15, and then inshallah we will just wait till 9:30 and we'll start the prayers inshallah. So this will be, and if it is on Wednesday, again the time will be 9:30, because I don't want to be a mufti, which will be responsible on the Day of Judgment. I'll go by the scholars of UK. Whatever they will decide, whatever they will announce, I will go by that, because I'm not following them, I'm following the hadith of Rasulullah. Rasulullah has said, and this is what all Muslims should be doing. He said, Sumu hina yasumun nas, wafturu hina yafturun nas. Hadith, authentic hadith. That fast when the people are fasting, which means majority Muslims are fasting. Don't get divided, don't be separated from them. And la faraq al jama'ah, don't be away from this group, be with the majority. And celebrate Eid when they are celebrating Eid. So I will go by that, alhamdulillah. So before you talk about Saudi Arabia sighting, or before you talk about Moroccan sighting, better you can sit down, because this is not masjid. You are not required to pray any sunnah in this place. Yeah, alhamdulillah, because that ruling, that إذا دخل أحدكم المسجد فلا يجلس حتى يركع ركعتين, when you enter the masjid you should not sit before praying 2 rakat. That's the word is masjid, and we know this is not masjid. So this hadith is not applicable. So when the khutbah is done, alhamdulillah, since the brother has started, otherwise I would have done it by force if I was at the time of Umar, and not now. I can't do that now. Okay, alhamdulillah. So the first thing is that this is we will be praying Eid at this time. Second thing, the difference between the fidya and fitrana. Two different things, remember that. People, they are mixing up with this. People are giving fitrana and fidya and they are thinking it's all the same. Fidya is also not for every fast that you miss, you have to give fidya, no. Fidya is for the missed days that you have missed, but only when you are unable to make it in the future anytime. Then only you have to give fidya. But if you have missed any day today in this month of Ramadan, could be 1 day, could be 1 week, could be women in the menstrual cycle, or anybody who is admitted in the hospital. So those many days which a person has missed, and if he is in the future throughout his life, no way he couldn't fast, he couldn't make them up, then fidya is coming here. And fidya is also not £5. May Allah guide those brothers who are announcing for £5. Fidya is one fitr, one iftari, that is for 1 day. And one iftari is minimum is few dates, odd numbers, and drink of water. And how much that would cost you? £5? Why to cheat women, people? Our Maulvis give fatwa in the masjid and they say, no, your fidya has to be £5. Your fitrana should be £5. No. My brothers and sisters, you have to educate yourself. Fidya is on behalf of 1 day that you miss, and that is your one iftari. And one iftari is, please come this side, please come close. You people are standing, I'll feel pain in my legs. If I stand for myself, I don't mind. But when you people are standing, I'll start feeling something, something is happening to you. Please come inside, come close. Alhamdulillah. It's good, mashallah. We went a few years ago when we started the Jummah, we were only having 20 people. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. And all this cocktail, no Hanfi, no Shafi, no Salafi, everything is cocktail Muslims. I love them. Pure Muslims here, and they are with me, MashaAllah, since then. Alhamdulillah. Okay. So, fidya is one iftari. And the minimum iftari and the best iftari in the sight of Allah is tamarat. Few tamarat, dates in odd numbers, and a glass of water. That's the best fitrana that you can give. And that's fidya for your 1 day if you are unable to make it after Ramadan. But if you are able to make it, sometimes you not be able to make it because you are traveling and the days are long. So there will be a time, Ijlis ya waladi, mashallah, let's waqif. Ijlis. الحين أنا خبرتهم قلت لهم هذا مش مسجد والحديث لا يطبق علينا هنا. حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا دخل أحدكم المسجد فلا يجلس حتى يركع ركعتين، هذا حكم المسجد. هذا مركز مش مسجد. الحمد لله، فما يطبق علينا. فاهم شيخ؟ Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So, my brothers, alhamdulillah, this is the point we have to understand that, and the fitrana, yes, fitrana is compulsory upon everybody, fast or don't fast. Even the baby in the womb of the mother, that fitrana has to be given. And this is the fatwa of Abdullah bin Umar, Umar's son. Okay, alhamdulillah. So that fitrana is, 2.5 kg of any food. Okay, it could be 2.5 kg of the dates, rice, dal, vegetable, anything that you have, that is called your fitrana. And that is compulsory upon every person of the house who is a Muslim. Even those children, those slaves, those people who are orphans, everybody of the house, and it can be given out by one head of the house as well. If a one head of the house, if he has got 8 dependents, he can just give out on the behalf of 8 dependents. So you can be generous, I don't mind. Alhamdulillah, you can be generous as much as you want. You might be thinking, Sheikh Sahab said dal could be 2 pounds 50 pence, where 2.1 kg or 2.5 kg is 250, but I want to give 5 pounds. You can give 50 pounds, no problem. But this is something you have to understand, that when people make it compulsory in the masajid, or our people in the the TV and radios, they announce that fitrana is 5 pounds. That's wrong, because when you fix it, you are making Sharia law, and Sharia law is by Allah, no by Allah. And Allah didn't fix it. Allah didn't fix 5 pounds for you. Allah fixed 2.5 kg of the food that you have. With that you want to give money, no problem. And third thing, it should be given in the people in the country where you live. Only Abu Hanifa rahmatullah has come with this fiqh issue. He said that when your poor people in need, whether Muslims or non-Muslims, if you have sufficed their needs in your own country, then you can think of other country. And people are saying in this country nobody is poor. No, ask National Zakat Foundation. Ask those people here in Luton, mashallah, these young boys who are running the charities. Ask them. I know, I have madrasa, mashallah, and I have got 70 children. And out of 70, 30 children, the parents can't, afford to pay the fees for them. And they are our people of Luton. There are people who don't even have enough food to eat. And they are people of Luton. So fitrana is 2.5 kg of the food that you give. Money you can give with that if you want to. But this is the sunnah of Rasulullah. Second thing, it should be given in the place where you live. Because Rasulullah has said, تُعْمَةُ لِلْمَسَاكِينَ وَتُحْرَةُ لِلصَّائِمِينَ. These are the 2 words of Rasulullah. And Rasulullah, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. Surah An-Najm, Allah says, Prophet will never say anything from his own desires. He will only say what Allah wants him to say. And Prophet ﷺ is saying, تُعْمَةُ لِلْمَسَاكِينَ. This fitrana is the food for the poor people. And masakin, he didn't say, تُعْمَةُ لِلْمَسَاكِينَ min Saudi Arabia ila al-Hind. No, he didn't say that. And he knew. Saudi was known that time. Hind was known that time. Countries were known to Prophet Muhammad. But he didn't say, تُعْمَةُ لِلْمَسَاكِينَ masakin fi biladikum. Your people, your own people, your poor people of your place. And tuhratul lis-sa'imin, and purification for our people who are fasting. When we are fasting, we might have shortcomings, errors, and we might have lots of sin in it. So to clean that, this is the fitrana. And the 4th point with fitrana is it should be given out before the Eid prayer. After the Eid prayer, it will be counted as charity, normal charity. So these are the issues which I wanted to make it clear to you. And last point and very serious. Pay attention. Don't look into your watch, please. This morning somebody has forwarded to me the video on WhatsApp. And this video is from one of the sheikhs and mufti from Pakistan. Nothing personal against him. Nothing personal against him. Whatever he is saying, he will be responsible on the Day of Judgment. I respect all the ulamas. Even I respect Rob and Peter, because they are scholars of their field, their religion, Christianity. I've got nothing against them. If they are right or wrong, they will be responsible on the day of judgment in front of Allah. So I respect them because they are not ordinary Christians, they are scholars, and whatever they think, they right or wrong is between them and Allah. Same thing, this Mufti, he has described, first he was describing in a detail what is the reason why he wants to say this fatwa, and he gave the fatwa, and he said that all those Muslims who are praying from, he mentioned three names of the countries, names of the three countries, India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. And he said that these people who are praying in Haram and in Masjid al-Nabawi, their prayers are invalid. He's Mufti. And he can say that. And I can say, no, you don't even have to pray, man. Your prayers are, I will take responsibility. I'll take you to the Jannah. You have no choice. You have to accept it. No. But this Sheikh has said this. And the reason he is giving is that the disconnection between the rows. He gave that fiqh issue. Fiqh issue is becoming a fatwa for him, saying that if there is a gap between the Imam and the people praying behind him, the gap by which it could be, the car can go. I don't know how did he get the idea of car, because we didn't have a car there during the time of Rasul. So, but he gave, first sentence he brought the car, then he said the river, then he said the, a gap which could be like, people from different part, and in between them is the river. So this is, my brothers and sisters, this is very strong fatwa. This is very, very strong fatwa. And this fatwa is normally issued by our brothers from India and Pakistan, those who consider Saudis, Imams as Wahhabis. So they hate Wahhabis. And this is one of the examples I'm saying, but what I read is different. I read it, subhanallah, that your prayers cannot be valid even when you are standing next to the Imam of Haram. I read this. These are in their books. So alhamdulillah, I don't want to get involved into that, but this is the video. And if you think I'm lying, I can forward it to you and you can listen to it. And the reason this Sheikh is giving is that the distance between the Imam and the rows is there. If this big distance is there, this big distance is not mentioned in the hadith. He can have a genuine reason for that. But it is not mentioned in the Quran, it is not mentioned in the hadith. And we know that Rasul used to lead Eid prayer, yes, and all were not able to see him. They were quite far away from him in many occasions. And he never said that the people who can't see me or people who have a gap between me and them cannot, their prayer is invalid. So be careful. This is something which I wanted to tell you. My brothers and sisters, my advice to all of you. Today we are in a situation where everybody walking in the Luton, in the street of Luton, they are all muftis. Remember that. Everybody is, authorized to give fatwa to you, to say you are wrong and you are right. But my brothers and sisters, your connection is between you and Allah. Leave it to Allah. Do your best. Do the research. Check it. And that's the reason. You know, a few years ago I used to even bring my khutbah copies over here for you people to take it, so that in case if I made any mistake, you can correct me. So do your research. Study it and never lose hope in Allah. Never lose hope in Allah. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said to Rasul sallallahu in the Quran, Surah Al-Zumar, chapter 39, Allah is saying, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِي الَّذِينَ أَصْرَفُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ جَمِيعًا. O Muhammad, tell my people, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, tell. And Sahaba were of that kind. Some were distressed, stressed, suppressed, halal, haram, killing, murder, cheating, zina, all that. Sahaba, when they came to Islam, they were upset. They didn't have any hope. Only the hope that at that time and today, the Christians, they give you the hope. Believe in Jesus, baptize and finish. You are saved. Okay, that's fine. But still there are people, even by that faith, they are not happy. And I know my community, my Muslim brothers are also having the same problem. My sisters also have the same problem. Every day they text me, Sheikh Saab, give me the dua for this. Sheikh Sahab, give me the solution for this. Sheikh Sahab, alhamdulillah, I consider them as my own, their problem as my own problem. And I send them, so I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, we all are equal in the sight of Allah. So take this word. Do your best that you can do. And don't lose hope in Allah. And if you think, your heart says that you have done wrong, listen to your heart and ask Allah, Allah, show me the right thing, and inshallah live it, and you do it, Allah will accept it from you, and nobody will harm you with these muftis walking in the street of Luton. Got my point? You remember my advice? Liked it? Alhamdulillah. Will you make dua for me then? Alhamdulillah. This is the best solution. Connect yourself with Allah. Everything will be fine. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وأقم الصلاة